on the Marx Brothers. Now the Marx Brothers were real brothers, but they made themselves, broke themselves up artificially into ethnic groups. Groucho was the Jewish guy, Harpo was supposed to be the WASP, and Chico was supposed to be an Italian. They were all Jewish brothers from New York City. But this was such a funny idea that was the basis of most of their humor. The Freak Brothers aren't real brothers, but they have this they're distinguishable. You know, most brothers look alike, but the Freak Brothers don't. Phineas has bushy hair and a beard, and he's intellectual. He's politically active. He's a chemist and knows how to make things at home. And I knew several guys like that here in Austin. He might be a composite of certain Austin guys. Fat Freddy, he's sort of a beer drinking, easygoing guy, and I keep meeting Fat Freddys all the time. They think they're the original Fat Freddy. Charlie Pritchard here sort of looked like that, and he was called Fat Charlie at the time, so a lot of people thought it was Charlie Pritchard, the guitar player, but it wasn't really Charlie. Charlie at the time had great hair out to here. Now he's just a normal-looking old guy.
What is the inspiration for Franklin? Where does he come from?
Franklin's sort of a hip cowboy, and I actually made a film one time. I was inspired by the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges, and I made a short film with my friend Joe Brown, playing the part of the Texas hippie who organizes a march on the Capitol. And I did the first Freak Brothers strip as an advertisement for my little movie, and everyone liked the comic strip better than they did the movie, so I threw the movie away and decided to be a cartoonist.
And like I said, the Freak Brothers really start to blossom with the move to San Francisco. That's where they start to gain some traction and amplification. And I wanted to get into this a little bit. What were the circumstances of your own move from Austin to San Francisco? And then as a larger question, what was the relationship between those two scenes?
Well, in the summer of '68, I went on a vacation to San Francisco for 2 weeks, but I never came back. So that's what happened there. There was a big group of Austin people there. Chester Helms had the Avalon Ballroom, and he had set Janis Joplin up with the local rock group, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and they got famous. Chet Helms' Avalon Ballroom would have big, good acts every week, a different concert every week. The Elevators played there, but big California groups, the Doors, the Grateful Dead, and so on. And they would make posters every week, and they made nice posters. So I thought I would be able to break into that poster deal because I knew Chet Helms, but I wasn't as good as those other poster guys. And four of us from Austin chipped in and bought a printing press. Dave Moriarty, Fred Todd, Jack Jackson, and myself. But none of us knew how to make the printing press work, so our printing was really horrible, and the posters weren't very good looking. But we discovered, or we found out, that comic books don't have to look as good as posters. You can have comic books with sloppy printing, so that's what we started doing. And when we published the first collection of Freak Brothers pages, it took off, and we were in the comic book business full speed.